What the dub? Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host, Connie, and today we are here with episode 5 of City the Animation, and you are reading that right on the flavor text for the video. We are checking out the dub today. So the dub for this series has been releasing simultaneously as the sub, and I haven't checked it out really at all. And so I wanted to give it a shot. Nichijou's dub came out years and years and years after the series came out, so the fact that this dub has been releasing at the same time is kind of a big deal. And I'm very curious because I watched clips and stuff of the dub for Nichijou, and it was good. It was very good, but in some cases it didn't quite hit the same way in certain jokes. It just depended on which joke it was, really. And I want to see how it works with this series comparatively. This is not going to be a consistent thing. This is just for this episode. Just like we did a preview episode of Free Run with the dub. Whatever episode that was. I just want to check out the dub and see what it's like. So we're going to check it out for this episode. That being said, we left off with an incomplete story last time. We actually have our first recurring segments. Well, not recurring segments, but ongoing segment story, and that is trying to chase down this cat rabbit thing, and it ends with oh my god, I'm so bad at names. I don't know why I suck this much with names. Nagumo, I think we're gonna say Nagumo. She was kidnapped at the end by the butler of this new girl, this rich girl, who wants to give her an award. And so it kind of ended with her just being kidnapped out of nowhere, and it just left off with that. It was just it was actively a cliffhanger. And with a series like this, you kind of don't expect that. So I'm very curious to see where this is going to go. So let's just do so. Let's just get into this and see what we've got in store. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So this kind of was entirely dedicated to that, but also not. They kind of, instead of cutting away from it, they multi-screened it. They did picture-in-picture with a bunch of them, and it just had one focused on at a time. That's a unique way to showcase everything, I guess. I mean, you couldn't hear what was being said between all of them, but you could definitely see what was going on. I was trying to pay attention to as many as I could, and was not easy. I was having a really difficult time with it. So the main core of this, though, is Nagumo is taken to the mansion, and specifically to the Towers of Hospitality. There's 2 of them, and they go in 2 different directions. So she's taken to the top floor of one of them, and there's a waiting room. It's very nice. You have this indoor bath. You have all the wine and other drinks you can have, all the snacks you could want. It's glorious, really. But there's 2 paths you could take. You can either wait there for the bridge to cross over to the other tower, in which case you'll go through every floor of all these different amenities and hospitalities. Or you can try to escape by going down through the trapdoor in this tower and going through all these different challenges to try and escape. And Nagamo finds that she's not the only one there. The generous man is there as well. I don't think we have an actual name for him, but he's there too. And so they kind of end up going down it together, though Nagamo tries to turn back but ends up not being able to. Wako just ends up there too because Wako does what she wants and we love her for it. And so the three of them end up going through the tower. We see a couple of the challenges and it seems like they're lucking their way through them because every challenge has like the test takers being, inept as fuck, and they just kind of get their way through it without having to do anything. Meanwhile, we see Nikra is still searching, trying to get the locket back, and she does find the cat rabbit thing with Echan and her girlfriend, and so she tries to get it back but can't bring herself to do it because of ethics and morals and stuff. And so it just kind of ends up like not working out. But you see kind of like others doing things. There's Makabe, I believe, messing with the Tsuchinoko and capturing it and stuff. And you see a bunch of other perspectives of different characters doing things. And it's just chaos. But in the end, all of these different perspectives come together in this big, like, kind of outdoor, I don't know if I'd call it a festival, but this big outdoor, like, what is a good word for that? Block party, I guess, works. Have you ever like been in a neighborhood in a community where it's like, oh, the entire block, the entire like area of people would come together and like have like a little party, barbecue and stuff, and everyone would like share, and the food would all like just everyone would come together to share the food and all. I lived in a subdivision at one point in my life, and the entire neighborhood, like all these different blocks and streets, would come together in the park that was kind of in the middle of it all, and we would come together and we would have these big block parties, I think like maybe twice a year at the beginning and the end of summer. And it was honestly a blast. It's something that I remember very fondly, and I really liked it. I also remember I remember a very specific one because my dad got like super fucking drunk at one of them, and I was actually suggested to spend the night at a friend's house. And so I did. I spent the night at a friend's house. I don't remember what their name was, but I spent the night there because my dad got like super wasted, and I guess I don't know if he was like dangerous or if it was just not going to be a good environment to be in. But I spent the night away. That was when I was really young, mind you. Like that was like pre-fifth grade. So the fact that I can remember anything from that time period is wild to me. But I do remember a couple things from living there, surprisingly enough. I guess just, some good memories, some kind of neutral memories, some bad memories. Just, I have some memories from there that just stuck in my head for some reason. Anyway, so yeah, they end up at this kind of block party together. All the food and everything there is free, and everyone in the city has come together to have a good time. All put on by the lady of the mansion as a way of, hospitality and giving people trophies and shit. And it's like, the thing is, if I had been in Nagamo's position, I would have never left the waiting room in the first place. Like, pamper the shit out of me, please. I will welcome that hospitality. Like, you wouldn't believe. Like, someone offers me all this like free relaxation and food and like a massage and shit, it's like, I'm taking that. You kidding me? Why wouldn't I? I'm not crazy. It's like you had an entire wine set up. Like I'm gonna be enjoying the shit out of that wine. Looked like Nagamo went for a beer, so I guess maybe she's a beer drinker typically. Um, but all the snacks that were there as well. It's like I would I would absolutely stay there until the bridge came across. I would go across and I would enjoy everything there. I mean, I don't know how to fucking play mahjong, but I would figure it out. I would definitely like go for the massage, like the hot bath there looked really nice. It's like all of that stuff. Like I would have never tried to escape in the first place. And we actually see kind of the two perspectives of that, because Nagamo didn't want to escape, but the old man did, and he wanted to escape, I guess, because he can't handle like this kind of like praise and attention. He finds it to be like too much. It overwhelms him. It overstimulates him. And it seems like he doesn't want it. He doesn't want all this thanks. He doesn't want all this praise. He's not doing this nice stuff for that. He's doing it because it's the right thing to do. He genuinely doesn't want all this praise and stuff. It makes him feel bad. It makes him feel awkward. It makes him like just really feel uncomfortable. As we saw the fact that he was like crying himself to sleep because of it. And there are people like that who genuinely cannot handle like that kind of like positive attention, especially if they feel they don't deserve it. They feel like really guilty over accepting that. And I can't say that's unfair. But like I said, I'm more on Nagamo's side. To where it's like, if I were put in that position, like, it's not selfish. You're being offered something for free because of something you did. It's not selfish to enjoy that, to bask in that. Now, I'm not saying you should do good deeds to try and get stuff like that, but it feels nice to be appreciated when you do something nice. I can give you a very specific example. I was at BronyCon one year. I went to BronyCon twice, in 2017 and 2018. I want to say it was the 2018 one where this happened. I'm not 100% on that, but I think it was. I went to the convention. It's in Baltimore, Maryland, and I'm walking along the harbor, Baltimore Harbor, and because I want to go to a Barnes and Noble that was over there because I wanted to see if they had something, which they did, by the way. It was a Legend of Korra comic, and so while I'm walking there, there's this person who is, asking for money, as you'll find going around pretty much any city. And they asked me for if I had any money, and I reached into my pocket and I gave them all the spare change I had. Because my view on this, and a lot of people have different views on this, my view on this is it doesn't hurt. If they do end up using it for something like alcohol or cigarettes or whatnot, that's on them. It's not my place to judge what they're going to use that for. If they need help, I'm going to help. And if they actually are like in real need of assistance and everything, I am absolutely willing to give that. And that means that my money went for something good. I find it to be an overall positive experience. It doesn't hurt me to give my loose change. It's not going to do anything bad. And again, if they do make a decision that wouldn't be the best, that's on them. That's not on me. So I gave all the loose change I had and I continued on my way. Later that night, I went to this restaurant in the area to get some food because, dinner. And when I was about to pay my bill, I was told by the waiter that someone had offered to pay for me. And I don't know for sure. I can't confirm if they had seen what I did. if they had seen that I gave that money and everything. But it still gave me that feeling of like I did something good for someone. I did something, just positive, and I received a blessing in return. And I could have paid for that. I had the money. I wouldn't have gotten it otherwise. Um, but someone offered to pay for it, and they wish to remain anonymous. Like, I actually specifically asked. It's like, oh, who were they? I'd like to thank them. And it's like they wanted to remain anonymous. I'm like, okay. It's like they didn't want the praise. They didn't want to be showered with that praise and thankfulness. They just wanted to do something nice. Maybe because they saw me do something nice, or maybe just to do something nice. I don't know. But either way, it felt really good, and it's actually a memory I hold in very high regard. It's one of my favorite moments from any convention I've been to, because it feels good sometimes to be appreciated. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with, finding positive feeling in other people appreciating you and giving you something, whether it's giving you praise, giving you some kind of gift, offering to pay for your food or whatever else. There's nothing wrong with that, as long as you're not like constantly doing stuff for the sake of trying to get that to happen, because that's a lot. That's too much. That's when it gets to be a bad thing. But no, I mean, I would never do that. I don't think Nagamo would either. Nagamo just wanted to, enjoy, just have a moment of like relaxation, good snacks, good drinks. There's nothing wrong with wanting to just sit back and let yourself enjoy something like that. So the old man kind of calling her out on like a difference in morals and stuff. It's like, my dude, no. I get where he's coming from. I do. But I don't think there's anything morally wrong with accepting someone's generosity. I genuinely don't think there's anything wrong with that. Again, as long as you're not, doing things to try and get that generosity, because that's disingenuous and that's not okay. But yeah, I feel like it's a difference in perspective, and I feel like different generations probably have different views on that because of how we were raised differently. A millennial and a Gen Zer might have a different view on that. A boomer, a Gen Xer, etc., etc. Different people are going to have different views based on their on the ideals and morals they were raised with, basically. Um, and that even then, after that point, it still is a person to person thing, because some people will think differently than the majority in that regard. But yeah, I think Nagamo was completely fine to try and accept that. Didn't end up working out, and well, it did end up working out with the block party. Like, she's like, "Is this food free?" It's like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Oh hell yeah, I'm taking this big ass meat and eating it." Like, seriously, that was like just basically a big steak or something. It's like I would gladly accept that. I'm not going to like beg or ask for it usually, but if someone offers like to buy me something or to pay for something, it's like, yeah. Thing is, I actually have a very hard time asking for stuff like that. um Especially if it comes to like money issues, like where it comes to like, oh, I need money for something, or I need like to get something and I don't have the money for it. That's when I really start to have trouble with it, because it's like I know how the economy is, and I don't want to like try to guilt someone into giving me money or anything when they might need that money. Yeah, it's just that I would feel guilty over. But if it's not that big of a deal, like, oh, I wanted to stop, like, let's say I'm getting a ride from someone and I wanted to make a quick stop at McDonald's, and they offered to pay for like my drink instead, because that's pretty much all I'd get from a McDonald's. I don't eat McDonald's food for the most part. But if like I wanted to get like a drink, because their drinks are fine. I mean, the pop is good pop. It's very fizzy. Their frappe drinks are pretty good. So it's like if I wanted to stop and get something like that, and like my ride like offered to pay, it's like, yeah, I'll accept that. But I'm not going to go out of my way and ask. I'll always try to pay if I'm going to ask to stop somewhere. But yeah, you get the gist. We didn't see a huge amount of the other characters. It was mostly focused on this main plot and continuing from the last one. I think Nikura was probably the second most focused on. And then after that, like, I think Etchan and her girlfriend had about the same amount as Tabake, or whatever the fuck his name was. The son, the one with the Tsuchinoko. I think they had about the same amount of screen time. Maybe Etchan and her girlfriend had more. I love how I keep calling her girlfriend because I just don't remember her name. There's so many names to try and remember in this series. But about the dub, I actually really liked it. Like, one of the things that with the Nichijou dub, I was a little like, I was mentioning, I was a little like off about, was there's some points in Nichijou where they make like these loud and noticeable exclamations with their voices. Not even like saying anything necessarily, but like making like noises and like making like gasps or like screams or something. And the dub just, for the clips that I had seen, the dub just didn't hit in quite the same way. The Japanese VAs for Nichijou just really nailed those specific tones and feelings with those moments. And with this, maybe this episode wasn't the best to like really get a good feel for that specifically, but I felt like everything was properly handled. I felt like Erica Lindbeck did a great job like expressing Nagamo's various feelings throughout this. And I think all the other VAs did a great job with that as well. This is definitely something I think the dub did work out really well for. I'm gonna stick to the sub though, because we've been doing most of the series so far in sub. But maybe I'll check out another dub episode at some point. Maybe like closer to the end of the season. But for now, tell me in the comments below, what did you think of this episode? And what did you think of the dub? Let me know down below. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.